I'm too fat to climb. I'm too old to climb. I don't have the upper body strength to climb. These are the kind of things I hear from people I speak to about climbing. People who'd like to give it a try but think they can't. Hi, my name's Gordon and I'm a fat old climber. I'm old, I'm fat, I'm struggling with fitness, but what you're watching now is a video of me climbing. When I started climbing, I didn't set out to be some kind of ambassador for unfit or overweight or older people who want to climb. But one of the things I've noticed since I've been climbing and since I've been sharing my experiences on social media is how many people describe it like I'm some kind of inspiration to atypical climbers. Like most climbers, one of the things I do quite often is speak to people about climbing. People I meet, friends or family, anyone really. And I always speak about it in a way that's more or less designed to try to get their interest up. What I consistently get from people over a certain age, I couldn't really put an age on it, but not what I would consider to be old. Maybe mid-40s, early 50s, or people who are what I'd describe as fat. You can describe it as overweight if you like. One of the consistent messages I get is, I couldn't do that, or I don't have any upper body strength, or I'd really like to, but I'm too fat, or maybe after I go to the gym for a while. And one of the things I think I want people to get from watching my videos is you don't have to be young or fit or lithe or skinny or muscular in order to enjoy climbing. It's not only for young, fit, muscular men. Anyone of any gender or age or fitness level can do it. I guess it's true that the more you climb, the stronger you'll get, and the more you climb, I guess a lot of people will lose weight and get fitter, but you don't need to have a perfect body, perfect fitness, or be a perfect age in order to take up the sport. So I guess what this video is about is if you're thinking about climbing and you're put off by how fit you think you need to be, or how light you think you need to be, or what age you think you need to be, then look at me. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Or if you're already a climber and you have some friends who you've tried to get interested in climbing in the past, and they tell you the problem they have about their age or their fitness or their weight as a reason not to go, then send them this video. It's fair to say that if you're just taking up climbing and you are either overweight or over a certain age or under a certain level of fitness, then you do need to be careful. A 20-year-old male or female gym rat deciding to take up climbing will be able to do a lot more than someone who is not young and fit. In fact, one of the things I often see is when young people join our meetup, very quickly the obsession becomes about how high a grade can I climb? How can I get to the stage where I'm climbing all the routes these experienced people are? And no disrespect to people who want to push the grade, but climbing is about so much more than that. It can be about developing a solid groundwork of strength, flexibility or technique, and this will help you at any level. But if you're overweight or older or less fit, then it becomes even more important. I didn't find climbing till I was in my 50s, and whilst I'm heavier now than I was then, I was still very heavy, and all I did was I modified. I took it easy. I dealt with the perceived pressure that climbing lower grades wasn't enough. I can climb the easiest grades in the gym and feel like I'm working hard, because when you're heavier, you're lifting heavier weights. So I guess the main thing to think about if you decide you want to give it a try is don't compare yourself and be careful. Don't expect too much. Climbing as a sport, bouldering particularly, is a very social sport. You get to know people. As long as what you do is stay focused on what you're achieving, stay focused on the climbs you're managing and what moves you're making, stay focused on your progression and don't compare yourself to other people, you'll get on fine. Don't take on too much. I say this to everyone that starts climbing, whether they're young or not. Don't take risks. There's a very common spirit within climbing for people you're climbing with to be looking at a move you're trying to make and be shouting support like, go on, you can do it, you've got this. And whilst that's an accepted part of climbing, I don't always agree with it. If you're nervously introducing yourself to a sport, especially if you're older or heavier, you don't want to be falling. And one of the surest ways, as far as I'm concerned, to fall is to make an uncontrolled move, either a move that's 50-50 whether you make it or not, or that you're particularly nervous about making, or a move that you have no strength or technique behind you to make. So for me, if you start climbing and you're older, heavier or unfitter, focus on building your technique and let your confidence come from that. I'm not saying take no risks, but just be very, very aware that particularly if you're older or heavier, the risks aren't necessarily greater, but the consequences if something goes wrong are. So take it easy, climb easy things, build strength, build technique and enjoy it for what it is. A superb full body workout with an excellent community that will welcome you no matter what you look like. And when you find a group to climb with, it's also an excellent social experience. I've met hundreds of people since I started climbing, including some I would consider to be my closest friends. Reach out if you want any tips or if you want to speak to me about how to get into climbing. Ask in the comments if you get any particular requests for tips for your particular situation. It's not a male-female thing. I'm not suggesting people should be a particular body shape. I'm not saying fat is bad. But one thing for sure about climbing is the more weight you're carrying, the more weight you have to lift up the wall. So my personal journey, whilst I'm currently going through some personal struggles with it, is I would rather lose weight. This goal isn't necessarily for fitness or how I look, but I'm at the stage in my climbing I want to be climbing the higher grades. And whilst I'm not saying I have perfect technique or I'm as strong as I can be, one of the things frequently that holds me back is how much weight I'm moving compared to someone younger. So if you're thinking about it, try it, take it up, let me know how you got on, and welcome to one of the best pastimes there ever was. Welcome to climbing.